Have you ever felt it? That quiet tension when you walk into the room. She looks the same. She sounds the same. But something in her energy is different. This is what men miss. Betrayal is not always loud. It doesn't always come with fights, confessions, or tears. Sometimes it's silent. Sometimes it's hidden in the smallest, most ordinary behaviors. And if you're not paying attention, you'll mistake those signals for nothing until the truth crushes you. Today, I'm going to walk you through the 10 silent confessions of betrayal. These are the things a woman shows you without ever saying a word. The little details that scream louder than any confession. Silent confession number 1. The sudden shower ritual. When she comes home and rushes straight to the bathroom, skipping the hugs, skipping the conversation. Pay attention. It's not always hygiene. Sometimes it's washing away guilt. It's her way of resetting before you can notice what she's been up to. The water hides the silence. The routine hides the truth. Silent confession number 2. Avoiding your eyes. They say the eyes never lie. And it's true. A woman who has betrayed you often struggles with your gaze. Not because she's scared of you, but because looking at you feels like looking at the crime scene. She'll look at her phone, her food, the TV, anything but you. Silent confession number 3. Too cheerful, too suddenly. Here's the paradox. Sometimes guilt comes wrapped in exaggerated happiness. She might act overly bubbly, overly energetic, or overly affectionate. Almost like she's trying to convince both you and herself that everything is fine. But real affection is consistent. Forced affection feels off. It feels like a performance. Silent confession number 4. Clothes become a shield. Pay attention to her sudden change in clothing habits. Quick outfit switches when she comes home. Secretive laundry routines. Outfits that don't match the story of where she says she went. Clothes carry evidence. And sometimes. Silent confession number 9. Vague, empty answers. When betrayal enters the picture, conversations shrink. You ask where she's been, she gives one-liners. You ask what's wrong, she says nothing. Her words lose depth because depth requires honesty. And honesty has already left the room. Silent confession number 10. The sudden need for space. This is the last and often the deadliest sign. I just need space. I need to figure myself out. I feel trapped. Sometimes, those words are honest cries for independence. But more often they're preparation. Preparation to exit. Preparation to justify betrayal. Preparation to rewrite the story where you are no longer the main character. The moral of all 10 confessions. Listen closely. None of these signals alone prove betrayal. But together, they form a pattern. And patterns never lie. The danger is not that she betrays you. The real danger is when you betray yourself by ignoring the truth, by pretending not to see the signs, by trading your standards for temporary comfort. You don't need to become paranoid. You need to become aware. Because awareness protects your dignity. Awareness gives you options. Awareness makes sure you never beg for the loyalty that should have been yours freely. So remember this. Betrayal is not just an action. It is a confession. And if you learn to see the silent confessions, you will never be fooled the same way twice. Let me ask you something. When trust breaks, do you notice it in the moment? Or does it hit you later, like an earthquake aftershock, leaving you replaying conversations, messages, and tiny details in your head, wishing you had seen the signs sooner? That's the cruelty of betrayal. It doesn't just hurt when it happens, it makes you doubt your own intelligence. It whispers, how could I not see this? Was I blind? But here's the truth most men don't realize until it's too late. The signs were always there. Hidden in plain sight. Wrapped in ordinary words. Not lies that scream, I'm cheating. But excuses that sound innocent. Excuses that sound believable. Excuses that, on the surface, make you feel guilty for even questioning them. And that's what makes them so dangerous. Today, I'm going to expose the 6 most common excuses women use when they're secretly seeing another man. And more importantly, I'm going to break down the psychology behind why they work. And how to cut through the illusion before you lose yourself. By the end of this, you won't just hear the words. You'll recognize the patterns, the tone, the subtle shifts that separate truth from deception. Because betrayal leaves scars. But awareness builds armor. Excuse number 1. It's just a girl's night. On the surface, this one feels harmless. She throws it out casually. Babe, I'm heading out with the girls tonight. Don't wait up. She may even add names. Sarah, Michelle, and Lisa will be there. She might even post a quick photo with them, laughing, clinking glasses, just to seal the image. And you relax. Because it looks normal. But beneath the surface, this is one of the most common covers. Here's why it works so effectively. It plays on your fear of looking controlling. You don't want to be the insecure man who doesn't let his woman have friends. It gives her a built-in alibi. Even if she spends part of the evening with the girls, she can easily slip away later without suspicion. And it conditions you. The more she says it, the more routine it becomes, until you stop questioning it entirely. But here's the tell. A real girl's night feels casual. She doesn't dress like it's a red carpet event. She doesn't act cagey when you ask simple questions. She doesn't hide her phone like it's carrying state secrets. If she bristles when you ask, who's going? Or what time will you be back? If she makes you feel guilty just for being curious, that's not friendship. That's a shield. Remember this. Trust doesn't fear questions. Deception does. Excuse number 2. I have to stay late at work. This one is deadly. Because it's wrapped in responsibility. Who questions hard work? Who doubts ambition? She'll say things like, my boss is killing me with deadlines. We've got a client dinner. I can't miss it. I'll be back late. Don't wait up. And instantly, you're stuck. Because if you push back, you risk sounding unsupportive, like you're against her career. That's the brilliance of this excuse. It doesn't just cover her absence. It makes you feel guilty for doubting her. But here's what most men forget. More affairs begin at work than anywhere else. Those late nights may not be late nights at all. That dinner with the boss could be dinner with someone else. Here's how you spot it. Do her late nights always fall on the same days of the week? Does she dress sharper on deadline days than she does for normal meetings? Does she come home glowing and energized when she should be drained? And here's the ultimate test. Offer to stop by the office. Bring her dinner. Walk her to her car. If she's really working, she'll welcome it. If she's lying, she'll shut it down instantly. Ambition thrives in the light. Deception hides in the dark. Excuse number 3. I'm helping a friend. This one sounds noble. She positions herself as the compassionate, loyal friend. My best friend just broke up with her boyfriend. She needs me tonight. Jessica's having a rough time. I can't leave her alone. And what do? You nod. Because how can you argue against kindness? But here's the manipulation. If you question it, she flips it. So you don't want me to be there for my friends? Do you know how selfish that sounds? Now you're not defending your instincts. You're defending your morality. That's how she disarms you. But notice the patterns. Do these friend emergencies always happen at night, on weekends, or at oddly convenient times? Have you ever actually met these friends, or are they just faceless names you hear about? And if you offer to help, to host a friend at your place, to drive her over, does she refuse immediately? That's the crack in the armor. Real compassion doesn't need secrecy. A fake story collapses the moment you step into it. Excuse number 4. I just need some me time. In today's culture, me time is sacred. Self-care, boundaries, independence. So when she says, I just need to recharge, I'll be out for a bit, you feel like you can't question it. But here's the twist. This excuse doesn't protect her peace. It protects her lies. She may say she's going shopping, hitting the spa, or just walking to clear her head. But here's the key difference. Real solitude brings calm. Fake solitude brings adrenaline. If she comes back glowing, buzzing with energy, smiling like she just came from a party instead of quiet reflection, that wasn't solitude. True me time leaves a person grounded. False me time leaves them high. Excuse number 5. I'm visiting family. Family is sacred. And she knows you won't question it. My mom needs me tonight. My sister asked me to come over. And instantly you let it go. Because who wants to be the man who stands between her and her family? But here's what to watch. Are these family visits oddly frequent? Do you ever get invited along? Are the details always vague? No clear times, no clear activities? Here's the truth. Real family visits are warm. They include you at least sometimes. Fake ones. They always exclude you. Because secrecy, not family, is the priority. Excuse number 6. I have errands to run. This is the simplest excuse, and one of the most effective. Groceries. Pharmacy. Dry cleaning. Tasks so boring that no man wants to join. Which makes them the perfect cover. She'll toss it out casually. I'll just grab a few things. Do you need anything? It sounds thoughtful. Innocent. But when a quick trip turns into hours. When the shopping bags don't match the story. When she insists on always doing errands alone. That's not routine. That's a rendezvous. Because real errands don't demand secrecy. And they don't stretch into half the night. Closing slow, heavy delivery. Now step back. See the pattern. Every excuse, girls' night, late work, helping a friend, me time, visiting family, running errands, they all have one thing in common. They're designed to make you feel guilty for questioning them. They weaponize your trust. They exploit your respect. And they manipulate your fear of looking insecure. But loyalty is simple. It doesn't hide. It doesn't need camouflage. Deception, on the other hand, is complicated. It requires scripts, stories, and constant rehearsal. That's why her stories feel off. Not because you're paranoid, but because deep down, your instincts know the difference. So hear me now. If her explanations are layered with excuses, if her tone feels defensive instead of open, if her words make you doubt yourself instead of reassuring you, that's not love. That's manipulation. Don't silence your instincts. Don't trade your clarity for comfort. Because a man who ignores the truth to avoid pain will suffer twice. But a man who faces it head-on will never be blindsided again.